In this example, we need to rotate the following points clockwise around the origin. There's a few things that you need to know, and we'll step through it as we go. 90, 180, and 270 here. 90 degrees clockwise, what's going to happen if you're given some point x, y, is that those two are going to switch. Those x's and y's are going to switch when you actually do the rotation. And then whatever the x was, which is now in the second position here, it's going to be negative. So let's see what happens here with this one. This 2 is in the x position. It's going to go to the right, and we need to take the opposite of 2, of course, which is negative 2. And then 4 just moves over and it stays positive. If you want to double check, you could definitely graph this and rotate it 90 degrees, and you would find that you'd be at 4, negative 2. That would be the new point. 180 degrees, we have a rule, and you can see this visually also, where it's kind of where the rule comes from. If you have a point x, y, and you want to rotate it 180 degrees, you just take the opposite of each value. Instead of seeing that as just a negative sign, sometimes it's useful to see that as an opposite sign. The opposite of negative 3 is 3, and the opposite of 7 is negative 7. So negative 3, 7 would be kind of up here. If we rotated it 180 degrees, we'd have 3, negative 7, which is exactly what we have listed here. So you can definitely make a little graph if you want and see what happens, but you can also remember these rules if you'd like to. 270 degrees, and again, this is for clockwise only, these rules. 270 clockwise, we're going to see something that looks a little bit like this. The y is going to come over to the left and be the opposite of what it was before, and then the x here is going to move to the right. So it's kind of like 90, except for with 90 the x became negative, and here the y that moves to the left becomes negative, or at least the opposite of. So we'll try this here real quick. We've got negative 2 in the y position. We know that goes to the x position. We have to do the opposite of that, so it's going to be positive 2. And the negative 5 just comes over to the right, so it's going to be 2, negative 5. For a 360 degree rotation, well, you just have the exact same point there, so it's just negative 1, negative 4. You'd be right back where you began.